You've heard people say they fear failure. But what if I told you that many people secretly fear success even more? Strange, right? Why would anyone be scared of winning? Yet deep down, we all know this truth. Sometimes it's not failure that stops us. It's the weight of what happens after we succeed. Because success isn't just a dream, it's a responsibility. It changes how people see you, how you see yourself, and how you have to show up every single day. And for some, that pressure feels heavier than any failure could ever be. You might think you're procrastinating, sabotaging your goals, or losing focus. But what if that's not laziness? What if your subconscious is protecting you from the change that success brings? Because success doesn't just demand effort, it demands transformation. And transformation, even when it's good, is terrifying. Most people think fear of success doesn't exist, because who would fear something positive? But here's the paradox. Success threatens your comfort zone just as much as failure does. When you succeed, expectations rise. You can't go back to who you were. People start watching, judging, expecting. That visibility, that responsibility, it's not easy to carry. Imagine finally achieving your dream and instantly feeling anxious, not joyful. Your mind whispers, "What if I can't maintain this? What if I lose it all?" That's not fear of failure anymore. That's fear of falling after you've climbed too high. It's the anxiety of being seen, the pressure of sustaining an image, the constant demand to prove that you deserve your success. So instead, your mind chooses safety, to not try too hard, to stay almost there, where expectations are low and comfort remains high. The fear of success doesn't appear overnight, it's planted early. Maybe you grew up hearing, "Don't aim too high or you'll be disappointed." Or maybe every time you achieved something, people downplayed it. You just got lucky. Or maybe you were told success makes people arrogant, selfish, or disconnected from their roots. Those seeds stay in the subconscious mind. So every time you get close to success, those old voices whisper, "Don't shine too bright. People will envy you. You'll lose your friends." And before you even realize it, you slow yourself down. Not because you're weak, because part of you believes success will cost you love, peace, or belonging. You start associating achievement with loss, and that emotional conflict becomes your invisible ceiling. Fear of success rarely looks like fear. It looks like procrastination. It looks like distraction. It looks like perfectionism, waiting for the right time, endlessly improving before you launch, rehearsing instead of performing. That's how the subconscious protects you, by disguising fear as preparation. You might say, "I'm not ready yet," but when will you ever be? You might say, "I'll start when it's perfect," but perfection is just fear dressed up in ambition. Every time you delay action, your subconscious wins. It's keeping you in the illusion of safety while quietly robbing you of progress. The mind isn't evil, it's just trying to protect you from pain. But what it doesn't understand is that the pain of regret is far greater than the pain of risk. Your brain is wired for one thing: survival, not success, and survival loves familiarity. When you grow, evolve, or enter new territory, the brain senses danger, even if it's positive change. So it triggers anxiety, doubt, and self-sabotage to pull you back to what feels safe. It's like a thermostat in your house. When the temperature, your success, goes above what your mind is used to, it tries to bring you back down to normal. That's why you might do something great, then suddenly stop doing the very things that got you there. Your subconscious wants to restore emotional balance, even if it means sabotaging your growth. The solution isn't to fight fear, it's to expand what feels familiar. Because when growth becomes your new comfort zone, success stops feeling like danger. Fear of visibility. Success makes you visible, and visibility makes you vulnerable. When you succeed, people notice. Some praise you, others criticize you.
You start worrying. What if they think I've changed? What if they expect too much? What if I disappoint them? That constant awareness can drain your joy. You start filtering your words, adjusting your personality, and carrying the weight of maintaining a reputation instead of living your truth. That's why many people unconsciously pull back when they get close to winning, because visibility feels like exposure. It's not failure they fear. It's the loss of anonymity, the pressure of attention, and the fear of being judged publicly for private flaws. But here's the truth. Visibility is not vulnerability. It's leadership. You can't inspire anyone by hiding. Here's something counterintuitive. Struggle often feels safer than success. When you're struggling, people empathize. They understand you. There's no pressure to perform. But when you win, expectations multiply. You can't complain anymore. You can't fail quietly. Success can isolate you. That's why so many people cling to the familiar struggle. Some even sabotage their progress to return to the comfort of being almost there. Because almost there feels safe. You're trying, but not responsible for the outcome. The struggle becomes part of identity, the underdog, the one who works hard. But you can't heal in the same environment that glorifies your suffering. You have to be brave enough to outgrow the version of you that only knew how to survive. When you shrimp your dreams to fit your fear, you don't just lose opportunities, you lose parts of yourself. Every time you hide your potential, your confidence erodes a little. Every time you say, maybe next time, your spirit gets quieter. And after a while, comfort becomes a cage, one you built yourself. The cost of playing small is invisible at first, missed chances, delayed dreams. But over time, it turns into resentment, not towards others, but towards yourself. The version of you that could have been more still lives inside you, waiting for permission. The only way to overcome the fear of success is to redefine what success means to you. If you see it as pressure, your mind resists it. If you see it as expansion, as the natural expression of who you are, your mind embraces it. Start small. Tell yourself, it's safe to be seen. It's safe to win. It's safe to grow. Repeat these not as motivational quotes, but as reprogramming commands, because your subconscious listens to repetition more than logic. You're not betraying anyone by evolving. You're not arrogant for wanting more. You're simply honoring your potential, and that's not selfish. It's sacred. You don't attract success by chasing it. You attract it by becoming someone who can hold it. That means developing emotional maturity, self-discipline, and inner peace. Because if you achieve what your mindset can't sustain, it will crumble. The goal isn't to avoid fear, it's to build the capacity to move with it. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision that something else matters more. And when your growth, your vision, your purpose matter more than your anxiety, success stops feeling scary. It starts feeling inevitable.
Sometimes, when you finally start doing well, an unexpected emotion shows up. Guilt. You look around and think, why me? Why am I getting opportunities while others struggle? You begin to feel undeserving of your progress. So, without realizing it, you start dimming yourself, turning down your effort, delaying your goals, or downplaying your wins to appear humble. But guilt doesn't make you compassionate, it makes you small. You can't lift others by shrinking yourself. The truth is, your success doesn't take away from anyone else. It expands what's possible for everyone watching you. When you rise, you don't leave people behind. You light the path. And when you succeed unapologetically, you silently give others permission to do the same. Maybe success isn't about applause, fame, or numbers. Maybe real success is inner peace, waking up knowing you're doing what you were meant to do even when no one's watching. Maybe it's being proud of your discipline, not just your results. Maybe it's building a life where your mental health and ambition can coexist.
Because the ultimate form of success isn't being better than others. It's being better than the version of you who settled for less. You'll know you've healed your fear of success when you stop chasing validation and start chasing alignment. When you stop trying to prove and start trying to be. That's when growth stops being scary and becomes your natural state. So go ahead, rise, not because you have to, but because you finally understand you're allowed to. You weren't born to live a half-lived life. You weren't meant to almost succeed. You were meant to expand, to inspire, to lead, not perfectly, but authentically. Stop dimming your light to make others comfortable. Stop calling it humility when it's really fear. You don't owe anyone a smaller version of yourself. The world doesn't need another person playing safe. It needs one more person brave enough to rise despite the shaking hands and racing heart. That person can be you. Because the truth is, success was never your enemy. Your comfort zone was.